Hi lollies and jelly beans, I'm Melanie Florence and this is Miss Melly Flo's Vibe Life. This is a channel for my tarot readings for my Vibe Life. So I have the hot tea ready to come out for October for the earth signs. So earth element, so I am a Capricorn, but I have ascending and rising and moon are all air, and the rest I've got 6 elements that are fire in the back of my charts. So you could look at these for whatever your planet is, whatever your stars are that you're looking, or you could be really earth connected. You could be one of those people who just is really connected to nature, or you could be watching this because you're looking at your practical world, because that's what our earth element is, like how we apply ourselves in the practical world, says my Capricorn. So I am going to flip a few different cards from a few different decks first and then do a proper greenwood spread. So I've been using a few different spreads across the way, and the equinox readings were all with a Romany spread. So this, I'm actually going to do the one that came from the Greenwood book, which I've been reading now for 25 years. I started reading book for 5 years. I think I actually just read from the book. I was like, I just need to learn what these are. I didn't assume anything of them. And over the years, obviously, the book went to the side. And this year, I pulled it back out again so that I could recap, because sometimes over time, you need to do that. So, I'm going to start with something a bit different. I've got a lot of things in the box. If you haven't had a look, there's a video what's in the box. I'm going to be pulling out different decks and things that I've stored in there, because that's what's going to go on travel trips with me, I guess. Maybe. We'll see. But I put a few books in there. One's love and one's like a Victorian like marriage manual, marriage and sex manual, so it's hilarious. But this one is today Pooh's Little Book of Interesting Instructions, because I've pulled a card out for these readings from the Buddhist Tarot reading, the Buddhist reading cards, Buddhism reading cards I think they're called. And I'll read the back of that in a second, but they're a bit Taoist, and I like the Taoist way, and they've got a book called The Tao of Pooh. If you haven't heard it, it's Taoism explained by the life of Winnie the Pooh, because he's like the uncarved block of wood that goes down the river. So we're just going to open a page and see what we got. Alright, you got my most natural reading. I'm like, no makeup. I'm going to get these, because I did all the other ones yesterday. Phlegm is good this year. Alright, anyway, here we go. So, when someone you love is wedged in a doorway and must wait to get thin enough to get out, read him a sustaining book such as would help and comfort him. So when you're in a jam, just maybe give somebody some just reading time. Read a book. Here we are. So if we're in a jam. And the other note is, if you want to make a song more hummy, add a few little tiddly poms. It's talking about being happy and just having like pom 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 poms in your stuff. Like one of my friends says she's got her little notes that she puts in when she's happy and comfortable in life. So do I. My nephew whistles. Sorry about this. Asthma, lifelong issue. Alright, so got lactose free, you know, that stuff helped, but the weather change, I'm sort of up and down. Anyway, so here we go. So this is about equanimity, okay? I find hope in the darkest days and focused in the brightest. I do not judge the universe. The Dalai Lama. Equanimity embodies foraging ahead with an unshakable courage to experience all circumstances that come your way, and without judging them as good or bad, right or wrong, gain or loss, so that you will not be disturbed by your own negative emotions. Nothing can spin your calm of center. Then nothing can then spin your calm of center. And so this is like, yeah, something's gonna go, not everything's gonna go to plan. Plans are like, you know, got chaotic elements that are gonna come in, and we gotta deal with that. And so you need to be try to sustain our vibration is what that's sort of about. Like, you know, it's all good all the time, even when you think it isn't. You know, so in my darkest days, that actually got me through. Okay, so I'm going to draw next from the Super Attractor deck, which I see as an abundance deck. You know, we need to see the abundance and generosity around us. What is the Super Attractor saying today for the Earth element for October? Earth element for October. What do we got? Okay, there we are. Ooh, I've had this one before. When I surrender my will to the care of the spirit of the universe, I attune my energy with an ever-present stream of well-being. So tune in with the will, my will with the care of the universe, to care of, wait a minute. When I surrender my will to the care of the spirit and the universe, I attune my energy with an ever-present stream of well-being. You know, and that is like sometimes, you know, you want to get into something for the day, and if you've got time, take it out and just say to the universe, what should I do? Because you might find there's a few other things in there, an inspiration when you open this up or you open that up, that might lead you on a track to, you know, make all of your advertising clips or stuff. That's what I did this morning. I was like, whoa, got to get into that. So sometimes tuning into the universe and giving yourself a break and letting it tell you what to do might give you a minute. Should have perhaps done my hair, but this is how we're rolling today. All right, so this is the Starseed Oracle. So if you're after names and stuff and we might be able to get them, please in the comments or message me and I will. You can catch me on Miss Melly Flow, Miss Melly's Flow on Facebook, and I have a group, Hot Tea for the Soul, which is where all the tea comes from. So my great-grandmother was a card reader. She read cards, like normal playing cards. I do have a deck in there that I need to explore, but she read normal playing cards and she read tea leaves. So it's in my family line in a whole different heaps of ways. Reading these cards is hilarious. All right, the Seeds of Mintaka. Seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. Ooh, seeing the potential. Seeing the potential. I read something the other day that was saying that every idea that pops in your head is an idea. It's got energy and it can go somewhere. So even if it's, you think, oh, stupid, it's like, no, that's an energy that can go somewhere, that might develop somewhere else. So it's like sometimes we need to like just tune in to see the potential. Bringing unconscious light. Bringing your unconscious, all of your unconscious ideas to light. See your potential in some of your ideas. See the potential in, you know, some of the movement of where it's going. All right, so with that being said, I'm now going to do the Greenwood spread for the month of October for the Earth element. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a couple of cards and then I'll turn it down so you can see it on the table. So when I do readings, I like to sit next to someone, and there's a whole couch here that somebody can sit next to me. But we don't, we got it this way because this is the modern world. So I've put you next to me so we can see the table and me. All right, perfect. Okay, so, all right, let's start there. Okay. Not surprisingly, and a few readings recently have started like this. Okay, so I'm going to start. Let's turn it around so you can see it. So this is the Blasted Oak, and this is your present state. So the Blasted Oak is lightning energy, and it cuts off things and cuts off limbs lightning swift. And you can see that energy is grounded out. You, the spirit jumps, it jumps, the energy jumps. So there are things that are going to fall down. There are things that feel like they've broken away, that you've broken away from a lot of things, old constructions, old things that are like, no, swift. I don't believe that anymore. This might be old friendships that have gone, that have maybe served their time. This is our old ways of being. This has, you know, you might change job, you might change things. But usually this is the Tower, so this is lightning energy. This is associated with real change and real swift change. And this is the next energy that surrounds you. This is a spiritual mediator. All right, so this card is the Nine of Wands. So we're talking about respect. So respect is a man with a very big stick. And I'll repeat that over and over again. It's where we draw our boundaries in life. But this is 9, this is penultimate. This is I respect myself, I have self-love. And if you don't, I'm gonna bat you with the stick. And so you may have, you know, some of what is going on here is about respect. You've respected yourself or others have not respected you. And sometimes that changes things dramatically in our life. Okay, interesting. All right, so the next card is our conscious will. So it's what we consciously think about what's going on. Okay. Ooh. spark of life. So to go with this 9, which is, you know, the penultimate when we get to here, the 9 of Wands is, you know, the Ace. This is a spark of life. This is a new beginning. This is a new beginning. I feel like the lens could have been cleaned before I started doing this. And I got a window out there. We're always going to deal with reflection. But I love it. Okay, let the sun shine in. So this is a let the sun shine in card. This is pow, bang, things are happening. In your conscious, you're like, I'm making a move on my faith. I'm making a move on what I love. I'm making a move on my passion. All right, big things happening. Ah, nice. All right. This is the, oh, can't see it then, I'll put it there. That's the Muse Tarot that you can get available, like, which I will use to go over the top of these cards and do confirmation. I almost said to the water people, I did say to the water people, we don't need it, and then when I do, I was like, oh, we did need it. So we're going to do confirmation cards over these. All right, so the source of your power for the earth element, we're taking the top one. Oh, see, dedication. This is dedication to your mind. So we've got a 9 here. These are divine numbers, and particularly in this season with the equinox that is passing. And this here, so this is the 9 of the mind. This is the 9 of arrows. So this is you having dedication in your thoughts and your processes, and dedication to you and what you think, and maybe meditating and breathing. Like, but this is, you know, taking that time and the dedication of mind. You're honed in on, this is the source of your power, on what you think you really want. Like, you think you've honed it in. This is honed in dedication, finishing courses, that sort of stuff. All right, so this is your conscious will, right? So this is your unconscious empathy. This is what you unconsciously think about what's going on, earth element. Alright, so we've got the 6 of Wands. There's a harvest. Yeah, again, we've got this is the 9, this is the 6. So 6 and 9 are actually big, particularly in the northern hemisphere for the autumn, because it's a more watery. In the southern hemisphere, it's actually a fiery element, and we've got 10 and 2, so finishing partnerships and finishing things are what the equinox is about. But this is, which I'm actually reading it on today. I'm doing these readings today on the equinox. I'm a bit ahead this week. So the 6 of Wands is, again, the harvest. So you've reaped what you sow. What you put in is what you get out of something. All right, this is a triumph card. This is, you have done well. The seasons changed, and this is your unconscious, that you know that, you know, you've thought about, you put in seeds and they're bearing the fruit, and it's a real harvest card, and it's a real joy card, triumph and joy. Not just for you, but also community in that card. All right, the next card is your challenge. What is the challenge for the earth element for October? What is the challenge for the earth element? Rebirth. Okay. All right, you blasted away from things. This is endings. This is things. So what we take with us, our emotionally, and what we take with us, you know, that fulfills us and fulfills our heart, that always is with us. And so this is like taking the bits and pieces of you and mixing them around in your cauldron, and, like, you know, starting to share them. And there's a bringing that heaven into earth. That's what an 8 does. And so in the middle in there, you'll see the Shila Nagag. Yeah, that's a real fertility. This is a real fertile spot. So your challenge is to work with the facility. What's in your cauldron to bring that heaven to earth? What's in your, and this is on an emotional level. What's your emotional heaven you're bringing to earth? Because this is a rebirth, and we have all the elements of what we were from the breakdown that we put back in the pot. So this is a spot of like, what do I have in my pot? You're still thinking about that. All right, so your healing element. All right. All right, healing element. 1 card for the earth element for October. All right. Let's do that again. All right, there it is. That one. All right, so we've gone through everything. Like, we've gone through this 9 of Wands, which is about respect, and we've got the Ace of Wands, which is like this spark of life. That's your in your forefront. In the back front, you like in the background, you're like, and I'm driven, and like, this is successful in my spirit. in my spirit, I'm triumphant in the things that I've been doing. What I've put in, I'm harvesting, I'm reaping, and I put in good things, and I put in nutrients, and they come out. I reap what I sow. All right. 8 of Cups is like, how do we put everything back in this pot? Because this is all about respect and dedication to your mind and dedication to your abilities and communication. All right. So what we need to do is we need to go back over again. And you might have thought you'd done it. But you need to go back and see what beliefs are outdated inside of you. You might have not been loved by someone enough in the past. They may have not shown you that. You may not be able to believe that you can trust somebody in the future, to trust their words, that they actually will. It's time to burn that belief. That was about that other person. That wasn't about you. All right? What are the beliefs that are holding you back? What are the beliefs that are holding you back in your dedication to yourself? What are the beliefs about you? Is it that you believe that nobody will want to hear your advice? Is it that you know, because we're melding back in, we're respecting ourselves, we've got this spark of life, we're putting in and we're reaping what we sow. All right, so we got one more card of faith, and our healing element is to let go of all of those things that we no longer actually believe in. All right, this is spiritual back burning and tending your garden. All right, that's clearance and clearing it out. This is a healing element. Spiritual back burning. Okay, this has been very spiritual because this is a lot about what you believe in and having dedicated to that, and what comes out of this melting pot from what's happened here. Ooh, earth element. So, what have we got? This is the outcome for the October reading for the earth element. October, earth element. What have we got? What's a hot tea? What's the outcome? What's the hot tea? What is the hot tea? One more. Come on. There it is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Remembering that this is emotions. This is our challenge. This is about becoming your best emotional person. So if there are beliefs that are holding you back, there are beliefs that are outdated, you really need to get to them and go, and I believe this now. You don't need to go over an old belief and say, I don't believe in that. You need to say, I believe this. I believe this. I have new stuff. I have new stuff in my heart. I got new stuff from spirit. I got new stuff from the world. And I believe something, because this is like the emotional queen. This is really leading you to an energy that's really nurturing, and the rebirth happens inside of this element. Like, you know, and this is, you know, somebody who is really nurturing and mature about their emotions, this woman who is really outputting love into the world and loving herself. Because that's the penultimate of a queen, of the Queen of Cups. Okay, all right, so that's interesting. And you know what? I love this sitting by itself, but we're going to ask a little bit of clarification on a couple of cups. Because that way we can see what the motive behind it is, right? And I get to use it on deck, which is fun for me, fun for everybody. Right, so this, again, is the Muses deck. So I've been really attached to the Muses, like I have been for a long time. Xanadu is a big part of my life. Like, and the more I reattached to Xanadu recently, I reattached to my childhood. It's so cool, right? But I bought this Muses deck. It was actually one of the only tarot cards that I bought out of the format when I first started, when a friend of mine sent the box in the beginning. When she sent the box of tarot cards for me, the Abundance gift, this was the next deck that stood out for me. At a bookshop, at Anglican Robinson or Dimmicks or somewhere. Oh, that's so funny. Well, not funny, I mean, like, I laugh at these all the time, but funny. Alright, so Earth Element, to go with our Blasted Oak. Surprise, there's a death. This is the death card. Okay, so the death card. So this is an ending. There's a death. There's a death inside of you. There's a death inside of circumstances. You are no longer that person. So whoever those people think that they're talking about, that's actually not you. That's a made-up version of you or whatever, but that's actually not you anymore. We've respected ourselves. We've respected ourselves. So we know that that's a death. A death is beginning is death, and we pick up the bones, and we pick off the bones, we pick off the bones to put back in our soup. We put our bones back in the soup. Look, we pick off the bones, put it back in the soup. Okay, challenge, put your bones back in the soup. So I'm going to look at, oh, see, I really love this. Anyway, what do we want to know? Oh, what drove your respect? Let's do it. Let's go over the top of them all. Here, what drove your respect? So this is this card. This is this Harvest card in the back of your mind, that you want to be triumphant. That's what's driven the respect, that you know who you are, that you're like 6-star. Like, this is so fun, right? I love how they double up. It was like, this is your inspiration, so we double up on that, and this is why we can do this, right? We do it with a different deck, because then the cards can come back up again. All right, so Ace of Wands, what's the inspiration? Why? What's the background? Let's do it. All right, what's the background of this inspiration? This Ace of Wands, this kapow, new image, new thing that she got going on, that we got going on. There it is, kapow. Oh, the Queen of Voices. All right, so this is the Queen of Air. This is about expression. This is about expressing your belief, expressing yourself, like being the Queen. It's like off with their heads is at the worst with this person, but for the best, it's like, you know, I'm communicating myself. I'm communicating my energy. I'm communicating my love, because at our best, we're communicating from love, because we want to be this Queen of Cups, but we're communicating that this is our position in it all. Love it. All right, what have we got dedication to? Alright, these, I guess with the October readings, monthly readings and special readings are probably going to be longer than the weekly readings. And I'm going to do the full moon, the new moon lives. Ooh, yeah. Love it. 10 of inspiration. Alright, so this is interesting. So this card, because when we know that the 9 is respect, right? Because we've got the 9 of Wands, you've got a lot of Wands on the table. This is a lot about faith, right? When we talk about the 9 of Wands, we're talking about respect. And this here, this shows burden, right? Because what this card is about responsibility. And it's you actually taking responsibility for your faith and what you think and your passion and who you are as a spirit and a soul. Okay, so this 10 is not a burden. This is what you have chosen to take on out of respect and dedication to your empowerment, triumphant feeling and energy from this death. There's a new you. 10 of inspiration. You're taking responsibility for your faith and you're dedicated to it. And you're speaking it. Excellent. All right, earth element. Here we are. Harvest. What have we put in? What have we put in to get to here? Oh, 7 of inspiration. Alright, so this is forcing back the insecurities. Alright, this is forcing back an inspiration again. We've got so much fire on the table for this earth reading. Alright, so this is pushing back and you can see it. This is all our fears that are trying to get to us. This is all our insecurities, like, and pushing back those insecurities to see the sun, to see this 6. Alright, this is about you healing and opening up your world to, and your heart, because this is about heart and our passion, not emotional. This is like passion and our heart, right? There's several different parts, I guess, to our heart. All right, and then, so this is literally like pushing this back. You're pushing back and showing your light to the world. All right, challenge. What are we doing? What are we doing? What's the challenge for the earth elements? Earth elemental. What's the challenge for the earth elemental? What's the challenge from the Muses deck for the earth elemental? How do we, ooh. Okay. All right, so this is the Knight of Voices. So if we're talking about the Queen, this is horsey communication. It's very direct. It's very straightforward. It's very driven by it, and I'm going to get my prey. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. So you might be plagued by thinking that other people are trying to, you know, advance on stuff, or, you know, you're having to, maybe this is the other side. Maybe you're just having to use your mental abilities to actually hone in on what you want, like, and be a knight about it to achieve what you want. You know, the king is of justice, but this is actually achieving justice, sort of thing. So it's how do you achieve justice, and how do you take on that, like, and refill your cup, like, and it's getting inspiration, getting, yeah, voices. So this is, you know, the hawk. This is hawk energy, so that's why we got him in the sky. See, you know, so you would pray down and smash down on your brain, sort of thing. So interesting. All right, so this is about still expressing yourself to get to the Queen, or expressing yourself, you are actually are the queen, because that's how you think about yourself. So the challenge is to communicate that and get it out on advertising, do your marketing, or whatever. You know, deal with the conversations, those conversations that are in the middle that you have to have, that aren't about love and aren't about inspiration. They're about the conversations that are direct and getting direct email stuff. All right, so, okay. So, the other card that's just jumped out with this is also a healing card. So, all of this has gone on. This is Temperance. Temperance is in the original deck. She always has been. The healing of Temperance is the healing of your emotions. So in a Rider-Waite deck, or like a Rider-Waite deck, you would see Temperance holding the 2 cups of attraction, balancing them between her, and she's balancing her heart, and she's healing her heart and healing her emotions. So this is a spot of healing and actually communicating your healing to go along with this rebirth, because this is a communication card, communicating your healing. And I guess that's what I'm doing. This is what I'm really doing with this. This is all the things that have healed me over the years, and I'm passing them on. So, you know, Temperance sits inside of this challenge for you, is actually expressing your healing. Ooh. All right. What's the healing element? What are we going with? Clearance. Let's see. What sort of things have we got to clear? What have we got to clear? Come on, the muses. Let the muses inspire. Ooh, the Ace of Voices. Clearance. So again, voices. So we're expressing ourselves. Love that. I love this card. These cards are really colourful, and it's why I picked them, and they're really different. They're really different to my Greenwood, which is why I picked them as a counterbalance. Sorry, must be rain coming. Okay, so I'm like a white weather vane. So, clearance. So with this clearance, again, we're expressing ourselves, and this is our healing element. What's behind it? Again, expressing ourselves. We actually have the Ace, the Queen, and the Knight on the table to express all this inspiration and all this fire that you've got going on, and this new change and this respect, and this dedication to your faith and your passion. We really have, you know, this is another expression. So this is the healing element is talking. Like, we've got a passionate new beginning over here. This is a new beginning in communicating yourself in a different way, and wisdom. As you can see, there's an owl in here. There's an owl down here. Look at that. Communication. Excellent. So we've got a little bit of wind. We've got a little bit of air to flow into this fire of clearance. Communicate. Again, communicating your healing. Okay, so I'm going to give one more. What have we got for the Queen of Cups in this outcome for October? What's the hot tea? What's the last bit? What is for October for the Earth element? Well, no. October for the Earth element, please, from the Muses deck. October Earth element, meet to the Muses deck. Come on, one card. What's the outcome for October? Alright, so if you do want a personal reading, these are the readings that I actually do. These are a Greenwood reading. I also do a Romany spread. Together they're too much. We've got to... Oh! Earth element! I'm glad we waited. I hope you have. Because the Queen of Cups is here because of... This is the penultimate. We've got the... We've got so many fire, so much faith on the table. You have pursued through some great challenges to respect yourself. This is the penultimate. This 4 here, we have 4 wars. This is the stability of our faith. This is the celebration card. This is a marriage card. So you have been working and you have put in, you reap and so on, push back your insecurities. Like, this is actually amazing. Earth elements for October. Like, if you are looking for marriage, you put yourself in the right spot. If you are looking for a great union, great success with people, you have put yourself in the right spot. Ooh. Should have done my hair. All right, so Earth element. Amazing. I really hope that you got through. I am going to try to keep these short, but here we are, 30 minutes. I do have Miss Melly Flo's Vibe Life. Please like and subscribe. This is it. And on Facebook, I have Miss Melly Flo, and I have a Hot Tea for the Soul. I'd really like to catch you there, do daily flipping and stuff, and I post these vids. So please share with people too, and have a great October. Can't say you're going to. You've done so well. Ciao. Mahalo. Yeah, there. Mahalo. Oh, wrong one.